Audio in 3, 2, 1. You're live.
Welcome to the Jeremiah Show. We're coming to you from the set of The Voice. Okay, I'm kidding. We got a superstar on the show today, and I do mean a superstar. You guys, Lewis is gone somewhere. I think he's getting himself a Coca-Cola, but I got Cam Anthony's our special guest today. He just won season 20 of The Voice. He was on Team Blake. We're back with Blake. We've Cam, before I'm going to properly introduce you, but we've been on Team Blake before here on the Jeremiah Show. We've never won, but a lot of the artists that actually can sing have won on Team Blake. So he must be doing something right. But anyways, it's so great to have Cam Anthony on. We've been really trying to get him booked since he won, and apparently he does about 50 radio shows a day.
Nah.
He does it in his sleep, but he saved the best for last.
You betcha.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And Cam, we pulled him out of studio for all those fans of Cam's out there. We pulled him out of studio. He's recording a new single. And
really?
Although we want to keep him for the show, we really want him to get back there because we're ready for that single.
You don't waste any time, do you?
No, I mean it's time. This is the time to do it, So I think it's
time.
Wow.
Been a long time too. I've been doing this for like 7 years, and although it may not be long for a lot of people who have been in the industry, I'm ready. I'm excited to do this. So.
Yeah. Well, let me introduce the other co-host today. So I was going to interview you. I was going to one-on-one, you and Cam and I was looking forward to having this time with Cam, and all of a sudden I get a note from a friend or a call, and they're like, I love Cam Anthony. I'm his biggest fan. You cannot do the show without me. So let me introduce Joseph.
Hey there.
Joseph is Cam's self-proclaimed biggest fan. And then we got Big Lou. He's down in Los Angeles, probably close to you somewhere there. Yeah, Cam and Lewis. I mean, tell me, Lewis, kind of give a little intro of what Cam.
Yeah. And all right, yeah, go ahead now, Lewis.
Yeah, is he on?
I'm in true form here, keeping CPT alive. So, there we go.
Lewis, I mean, you wanted to come on as well. When you heard Cam was coming on, you just loved him. He was your favorite on the show, and maybe I think you said one of your favorites ever on The Voice. What's your experience with? Give him a little setup on your love for his music.
It's very interesting for me because. And Cam, let me know. I'm gonna take a leap of faith here and say that we have a lot of things in common in that respect. Not our voices, first of all. Let me just put that out there for everybody's listening. We definitely don't sound alike when we're singing on the microphone. I promise.
I've heard him. He's telling the truth.
I need the shower. The shower always has the best acoustics that you could possibly get.
Right.
With that being said, I'm just gonna take a shot at the dark leap of faith. Did you grow up singing in the church?
I did, yes. I spent a lot of my time in the church. My grandfather, he started a church called Crossroads Missionary Baptist Church.
Yes.
And that's where I grew up. Like my entire family was the church choir. I was on the dance team. I was an usher. So, everything that goes into being a part of the church is pretty much what I went through. So I definitely was dipped and bred in the church.
North Philadelphia, right? North Philadelphia?
North Philadelphia, yeah. And the city also brought a lot of that, soul that you're talking to.
Yeah.
A lot of that came from my city because, Philadelphia is just a place they call us a city of brotherly love.
That's right.
Because, there's just this camaraderie and also this interesting artistry that is happening, especially now with the younger generation. So I think it's just a collaboration of all of that. It was like, what made Cam?
Yeah. The streets of Philadelphia.
I'll tell you, my father was a pretty well-known national pastor. So, the first time I heard you sing, I wasn't even looking at the TV. I just heard your voice. And for everybody that's listening and that's watching, if you were raised in the church or you grew up around people who sang in the church or started in the church, there's a certain tone, pitch, energy, vibe that they sing with. And you can hear it within the first 10 seconds of them opening up and letting out whatever that feeling and emotion is. And I got that when I heard you singing the first time.
Thank you.
And it really brought me back home. Now, I'm not going to throw myself under the bus, but I am a 70s baby. Right? And so it's funny how you touched on the generation of today, the millennials that are coming out and that are singing. And without knowing your age exactly, you don't sing and sound like one of the millennials and the new age young folks that are out there singing, which is what really grabbed me with you.
Thank you.
Where do you attribute that drive and that I mean, there's soul and then there's soul. Like, you put me in the mind of the guys who are on Soul Train, and I use it as a reference a lot, that, you know, they have the words scrambled, and after you get the words all figured out and you make the artist, then you go and get your boogie on. That's what you put me in the mind of, that era. Who would you attribute your style to, and how you came out to sing with such conviction is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, I definitely would think that, like my mom, one thing she told me a lot of the times when I was growing up in church and working on my solos, it was that I'm not singing for myself, I'm singing to minister to somebody. And one of the things that I'm going into with my music now also is that I want it to feel like a form of worship, and not necessarily worshiping a thing or you know, a particular subject, but just having that same feeling you get from, you know, going to church. I want people to feel something from the music. So that's where my mind is at all times. And, you know, even with my song selection on The Voice, my goal was to heal and to kind of promote healing and just kind of spark some type of awareness in people's, you know, brain that would push forth a kind of message that I felt was necessary. So I think I definitely would say I got that from just my mother staying in my ear and telling me, like, you know, focus on this and keep the passion at the forefront.
Right. You know, that's so huge. I mean, like yourself. So I was raised in the church, like, and when I say raised in the church, people, I want you guys to understand, like, you know, with my father being the pastor, like uncles on the usher board and the deacon board, my sister played the piano. We had, like, you know, our choir was pretty big. So we had, we had the pastor's choir, we had the intermediate choir, we had the mass choir. I played the drums for all of the choirs. Okay. Which is why, you know, they put me on the drums because I couldn't sing very well. I touched on that earlier, right? That's how you keep me off the mic. You put me on the drum. But my mom was a great singer. She's a lot older now, so she's not able to bellow as she used to. My sister as well. And we did things like Vacation Bible School. I don't know if a lot of people would know what that means, but it's like school, but just at church. And then to help us to educate us on the Bible as well. And to give some appreciation for the history.
Right.
I noticed they did a comparison with you and John Legend singing the song.
Yes.
And I mean, again, John Legend, huge fan. John, if you're watching, what's up? Keep it going. What did that have to be like for you? Because I mean, again, he's one of the greats of all times.
Right.
And he's still, I would say, maybe behind the scenes a little bit, but he's still got his hands on everything.
Mm-hmm.
What was that comparison?
It was honoring, honestly. Like, even just being on the stage and hearing his response from listening to, you know, what my take was on the song. Yeah, he said that I did things that he didn't even think of and that he wouldn't have imagined. And so just hearing that coming from a legend, like you said, like John Legend, it was validating for sure, because it just validated the ear that I've been working to develop. And I've been looking to people like him and the grace that he carries himself with. There's so many things that I appreciate about, you know, the way John has, you know, put himself into just the music industry. So just being compared to him was an honor, like I said, and just seeing, I don't know if you're talking about a specific video, huh? Yeah, I did see that one. Yeah. And it was quite cool just to see the contrast. It just shows that artistry is specifically, you know, about who you are and how you're interpreting it yourself. So I thought that was an amazing overlay, if you will, when they played John Legend singing at the inauguration. And then they had you know, they play a little bit of him, then they showed a piece of you, they play a little bit of him, they play a little piece of you. And I was like, wow, I see why he stood up. And, you know, there's always a little bit of internal competition
when we're out there performing in any platform. But in the same respect, we're always rooting for the other guy as well. You know, and so I guess for you, as the process of The Voice was going, did there ever come a point where you felt like, man, I got this?
I wouldn't say that. No, it was always number one in my mind that this is just an experience that I'm just trying to learn as much as I can. I'm trying to benefit from this entire thing as much as possible. And I also was going into it like looking for whatever was best for me. And although I may not see that far, knowing everything and every step that's going to come, my goal was just to focus on each one that I could take. So next week, I'm gonna figure out what song I can do to touch this person or touch this particular subject that I wanted to touch on. And I just keep going and see where that leads me. And it has taken me to some pretty interesting places, and I'm just gonna continue following my heart. That's pretty much it.
And look, I'll tell you, you're gonna go a lot further than I did in sports. And I definitely want to say congratulations on your immediate success and the success to come. And I'm not saying this to wrap up. I'm kind of putting it out there because I know the ride that I was fortunate to have going from high school to college and playing on the level that I did. And, you know, I had a small cup of coffee in the pro level. The ride is what it's all about. Sometimes it's not the end game. It's the journey there that's going to teach us everything that we're trying to learn.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, I will say for me, I'm a huge fan of music, obviously, but there's some genres of music that are not I won't say my cup of tea, but I'm still learning an appreciation for them. And then watching you on The Voice, and I mean, your range it's crazy.
Thank you.
The songs that you sing in these different genres without a hiccup.
Thank you.
Crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Is that just a natural, innate thing? Or did you have to work a little bit at, you know, the proper pitch in some of the songs that were maybe, for lack of better words, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, not in your wheelhouse? Because from what I've seen, anything that you sing, like it could be about dinner, probably going to be a hot song. You know what I'm saying?
Working on that one right now in studio.
Yeah. Exactly. I would say that it wasn't necessarily a challenge because I was used to kind of stretching myself in that way. Like the goal was to be able to show versatility throughout the process. And so it was a challenge to probably embody the song and kind of come forth as much as I could as my own artist, because some of the songs that I took on were quite like a mammoth of a song. So, you know, you have a Nina Simone and Boys to Men. These are things that, or songs that you know, they're particular and you don't really want to get wrong. So I was more so in my head about those type of things, but also making sure I honor the musician that I am. You know, I do want to make sure that I come forth with the things that I have learned through the process and show people my new range, or, you know, stuff like that. So, I mean, even in the show, our vocal coach, she pushed us to just do things that we just did not know we could do. And that high note that was in there, Blake suggested that, you know, am I feeling good rendition. So things like that are just particular moments that I just feel like you wouldn't be able to necessarily, you can't plan those. Those are just those perfect things that you need to just put the cherry on top. And I think that was just a perfect learning experience, that whole entire thing.
Now you say that's great. Like I said, that was a learning experience, but you know, I think I wouldn't be stepping out of bounds if I said it was definitely a learning experience for all of us who had the honor and the privilege to sit and watch you do what you do.
Thank you.
You know, and I think that everybody that's listening, guys, Jeremiah, you guys can agree as well. There's always times when we're going through something in life, you know, that things the ball's not bouncing in our court, things are not in our favor. Typically, you know, I'll just go ahead and hit the nail on the head. Typically, it's when we're dealing with relationship issues, right? And then all of a sudden, every song we turn on, no matter where we turn, it seems to apply to us and the situation that we're dealing with. And I'm saying that because, you know, I'm going through I'm finalizing a divorce right now. And then I heard your rendition of, you know, it's so hard to say goodbye. And I swear I had to turn it off. It touched me in that way. And I don't know if I want to turn it off because I was going to get a little emotional. And I'm a weird guy. Like my wife, she used to tease me a lot because I would watch, you know, The Voice, America's Got Talent, all these shows where people put themselves out there, and I would get so emotionally touched. And like, you know, I wouldn't be crying like, oh, boo-hoo, but I would definitely tear up because it takes a lot for a person to get out there.
It does.
And put themselves out there, whether they have it or not. Sometimes we think we have it and we really don't. Have you ever found yourself, and at any point in time of your career at this point, a little bit hesitant to get out there because maybe the song was a little too close to you, or, you know, I mean, you definitely don't appear like you have stage fright. Maybe that could just be good masking, but maybe just a little stage fright. Like the moment could have been too big, and that was early on in your career. Like, how did you process that and overcome that to be able to perform?
I definitely have moments where like things may seem too big. I'll touch on the Nina Simone thing for a second. That song, like I said, is so iconic. And I was learning the scat within, I say a week, but it was kind of smaller. It was like a lot smaller than that. And so to be able to go from everything we were doing, we were filming and everything, aside from the actual performance, that was like a little stressful. And I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to you know, deliver the way that I wanted to. So I had to make sure that I just centered myself and then again focused on just my goal, which was to bring the best performance that I could and, you know, just let it be what it was. But for Hard to Say Goodbye, that song in particular was a very, very important song to me because my grandfather and my uncle, it was sort of like a tradition that we would sing at the funerals of our past loved ones. And so that was my tribute to them at the time. And that entire week of performing and practicing, it was waterworks, and there were a lot of things, you know, dealing with that because it was an emotional time, but just had to work through it, you know.
Did it affect the performance, do you think, that just being so close to it? And
I think it definitely affected the performance in a lot of ways. I did get a little emotional towards the end, but I think it added to just what I wanted to convey. I mean, we went through a really rough time. You know, COVID really just did a lot to a lot of people. And I know a lot of people who lost a lot of loved ones. And so it was just important that we had this, not necessarily closure, but just had something that could kind of bring comfort, you know.
All right, we're going to take a real quick break. This is fascinating. This is great. We've got Cam Anthony. He's the winner of NBC's season 20, The Voice Team Blake. Check him out on Twitter at Cam Anthony. You can also get him on Instagram at The Real Cam Anthony. Who's the fake Cam Anthony? That's did you? I started an account. Did you catch? You caught me. So he had to start The Real Cam Anthony on Instagram and Facebook at Mr. Cam Sherman. Cameron Sherman. I was just reading it to make sure I got it right. I'm a little bit blind here, Cam. When we come back, though, I want to bring in Joseph. He is your biggest fan. He's got a couple fan questions for you. And I never finished my bio, so I'm going to take it throughout the show. We're going to get to know you a little bit by little bit by little bit. But I think this is fascinating that you grew up in North Philadelphia, now in LA, but you at 11, you've been doing this a long time, even though you are really breaking in right now. You broke in quite a while ago at age 11. Sorry, there. There was a video of you singing a Bruno Mars song, went viral. Check it out. Go to YouTube right now. Check it out if you haven't already seen it. And you got to follow Cam on YouTube as well, and Spotify, like where I follow him. But I love this. Also, you were invited on Ellen DeGeneres Show, and you sang with Patti LaBelle. You performed at the White House, which you referred to and John Legend referred to, for the annual Easter egg roll. And at 12, you were signed by Dr. Dre. I have a great Dr. Dre story. If we have time, I'll throw it in there. Dr. Dre is such a great guy, isn't he, Cam?
Yeah,
he diagnosed me one time.
Oh yeah, I'll tell my story before we go to break, because when we come back, I want Josh and Cam Joseph and Cam, excuse me, to talk and get ask the questions. But real quick, Dr. Dre, I waited on him one day and he had a cup of clam chowder, left me $100 bill. The night I'm like, wow, that's a cool guy with his daughter. She was 4 or 5 at that time. He left. I found his pager on the table. He comes back about an hour later, gives me another $100. But I was thinking, what names and numbers are in this pager? I would love that. All right.
But
We're
only
coming back
imagine.
with Cam Anthony, the winner of NBC's The Voice Season 20, Team Blake and Joseph, the biggest fan in the world of Cam. So we'll be right back.
All right, you're clear.
Did I say Josiah the first time?
You said Josh.
All right, Cam. Now we can talk for real.
Josh.
My bad, guys. Please excuse my apologies. The boys are tearing my house up. Somehow my earphones that I took out this morning miraculously disappeared.
We can hear you. Don't quit yelling at us. Quit
If you
Yelling.
don't be alarmed if you see this. That just means,
Josh.
Cam, you know what that means.
Don't yeah.
All right.
Stop doing it in all caps, will you please?
You ready to come back, Dr. D?
I am. And here we go. We're coming back in 3, 2, 1. You're live.
Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. We are with Cam Anthony. He is the winner of The Voice and has been doing this a long time. He's got it. I got Big Lou's here, and I called him Josh. I don't know where I got that. Joseph.
You've only known me for 30
Josh,
years.
Joseph. It doesn't matter what he goes by. What he really goes by is Cam Anthony's biggest fan. And so Joseph has a couple questions for Cam right now. I'm going to turn over the mic here.
Slide it over. There you go.
Slide it over. Hey, Cam, it's nice to meet you.
Hello. How are you?
I've watched The Voice religiously for 20 seasons, and I literally wasn't going to watch ever again if you didn't win. So when I talked to Jeremiah, he called me your biggest fan. I really am. And I was really impressed by the breadth of the songs you sang and how much passion and just soul you put into each and every performance. But, and I want to kind of take it behind the scenes. You know, when you were up there and you should have gotten a 4-chair turn and you saw that John was blocked from being able to even have you choose him as a coach, what was going through your mind?
Honestly, because like I have this thing sometimes where I'm not necessarily conscious during all of my performances or all of the performance. And so for this one in particular, I was surprised how, basically grounded I was in the performance. I was able to just see everything unfold. And so I watched as, they turned around and when I saw that John was blocked in my mind, I was like, well, I mean, I'm on the show, but dang, like I really, really wanted to be on John. And I didn't know what was going to be next. I knew from then on it was going to be a different route that a lot of people would, like me, myself at least, would take. So I thought it would be, it'll be fun. So we just had to let it be what it was.
And it worked out, right?
Oh yeah, just following your heart.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure if it did. I'm really not sure.
So speaking of it working out, tell us what it's like to have Blake as a coach. I mean, he's been on the show forever, day one. He's a great guy. But what are some things that you loved about having him as your coach?
Honestly, it was just the fact that he was so down to earth. I mean, he was such a laid back guy. He neutralized the environment and then he would just supercharge it. He had all of this energy all of a sudden sometimes. And so I remember one time we were practicing, She Drives Me Crazy. And, we would just laugh at the wildest things. I almost literally fell off the stage, like part of the stage separated and I almost fell in between it. And we just laughed. I mean, because I kicked it down and kind of rolled down the stage. And we just laughed at the moment because, we just like, things happen, you got to roll with it. And I think that was one of the things that I really appreciated about Blake. It was like, he was always able to just move on the fly and he appreciated, your own artistry. So he allowed me to do my own thing and just guided me where he needed to.
So what advice would you give anyone auditioning for The Voice?
I would say definitely you want to figure out your thing. You want to start working on it at least. You're not going to figure it all out, of course, because that's going to be something that develops for the rest of your life. But you want to get a grip on it so that no one else is able to tell you what it is. And then after that, just run, have fun. It's a thrilling experience. So just take it all in and be ready to learn.
Awesome.
Are those all your questions?
I mean, I could go on.
Go on. Well, you got 1 minute till break.
Okay, 1 minute.
Mhm.
Okay, so you shared it a little behind the scene, but what was it like having Snoop coach you?
that was cool. I mean, Snoop, he was also part of the making that higher note come into my Feeling Good song, because he was just like, there's something that we need, and Blake was like, well, maybe if you give them a high note, like people love to hear people just soar up in that falsetto. So working with Snoop was cool. He and Blake are surprisingly a dope pairing. Like they're enemies match. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing watching Snoop with all of the coaches and contestants. He was probably one of my favorite advisors of all time, just because he really gelled with everyone in every genre, and he definitely was a great part of the show.
I find it very difficult to conceive of Snoop Dogg as a parent figure. I tell you, it's real hard.
Richard, he really was.
Yeah.
It was amazing to see Snoop in that way.
I mean, it's just because he has so much fun doing whatever he's doing.
He's just such a wise musician too, and he's so well versed, right, Cam? I mean, you're like, wait, you know that song? Like, why do you know that song?
He knows a good amount about music, and he's pretty well versed, like you said. So I mean, when he needs to put on that hat, he puts it on. It's game time.
Great.
All right, we got to take a break, right?
Yep.
Thanks,
So
Cam.
you take us to break. Josh, Joseph. We got Josh and Joseph.
Josh and Joseph.
Those are great questions.
Twin brothers.
Cam's #1 fan. He's going to take us to break. You got a really good radio voice, by the way.
Yes, you do.
Thanks. I was told that in college.
You should have pursued it.
I should have gone into radio.
We're way too close sharing the mic here. Anyway,
I want my own mic in that case.
Who are we talking to?
We are talking to Cam Anthony, season 20, The Voice winner, Team Blake.
And what are we listening to?
We are
What
listening.
are they listening to?
They are listening to the Jeremiah Show.
Look at that. You're the new co-host.
All right.
We'll be right back after this quick break.
All right, you're clear.
Good work. Good questions. Good questions.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's come back with. You guys mind if I ask a couple questions again?
No.
Lou, Big Lou.
What part of LA are you in? Let me, Jeremy, you can tell me why we.
Oh, I just lost my. I guess not. The guys took over the show.
Just lost.
Jeremiah's going on sabbatical.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
don't have a show anymore. It's good. You guys take it. You're doing well. Cam, you get to take the show next.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. All right, stand by. We are rock and rolling and ready in. Find my marker. 3, 2, 1. You're live.
Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. We got Cam Anthony on the program all day long, and we have been playing his music at the breaks extended. So you are enjoying the great voice of Cam Anthony. There's no wonder that he won The Voice season 20 NBC. He's on Team Blake. Also being joined here by Big Lou, in the Sports Lounge. Our co-host Dr. D is here, and Josh/Joseph. With Cam, one of the things that I love, by the way, I want to tease this. I was doing some background on you, and I love kept popping up. Who is Cam dating? Who's Cam Anthony dating? And it kept saying it would just, there was no answer. He keeps it private. So for all you fans out there of Cam Anthony, he's going to tell us at the end of the show, right, Cam?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
He's gonna spill who he loves. And it's probably not you. I'm sorry. All right. So I love this. The family. Your family is a big part of who you are, and the support system that you have. How much does that play into the success that you think you found? The family, and mention them by name if they don't mind, and if you don't mind.
Well, sure. I mean, there's a good amount of us now, but
We got time.
My mother, Melissa Hayward, she has literally, I mean, she's the foundation of my voice, my becoming of an artist, So that I definitely will have to give to my mom. She's held me down also through the entire process, traveled with through all of it. And so my mom definitely is one of my biggest supporters. My brother, his name is Carter Lee. He's also an artist. We work together a lot, and he taught me a lot about writing, like everything I know pretty much. So I definitely lean on him a lot. And he's actually with me now because we're in the studio working on some stuff. So, we're trying to release something very soon. But
a little bit. When do you think that might come out?
Well, I will say we're hoping for the next 2 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm
So
hoping for that.
for the fall, it's going to be a nice fall then, guys.
I am in LA. I could easily just swing by and just get a, give you another ear.
If you need a drummer, you might need a drummer.
The multi-talented.
Cam, does the family support that in the love? It sounds like they've supported you from day one. And
I mean, my entire family has had to change their lives to fit this new lifestyle that we're adopting. So just me being able to travel so much, my mother being gone a lot because she's with me when I was younger, it changed a lot in the family. So we had to adjust, but I think it was just it was something that my family could see that I loved so much, number one, and that was life-changing as well. So we kind of just got, banded together.
2 brothers, 3 sisters. Yeah. And who complains the most? It's all about Cam.
Well,
Cam this and Cam that.
I would say my
Sorry.
younger sister has it all. She has the world. So
You don't have to tell. I'm just playing. I love when I watched all your performances and then I revisited them as I was putting the soundtrack together. The joy in your eyes was very obvious. There's real joy in what you're doing. Which makes your performance like you just made everybody come alive. And then you would look at if you were singing with somebody a duet, they kind of came alive. Where does that joy come from?
I don't know. It's just a love for just life and music and just appreciation for the journey. It's been a lot. And, there was a point where I did get tired and I was like, before I even joined the show and I was just ready to give up. But just going through that process, it just helped me restore my love for music and everything. And after you get to a point where you reach that kind of place, you then understand that things can be a lot simpler. And you just find a new way of existing. And I found it in just flowing, finding the vibration we all talk about of just going with the way that, things are naturally going to. So that's how I pick my songs. That's how I pick the outfits. It was just all about what felt best. And yeah.
Other than the music and that vibration that you feel, where do you find peace? When you were doubting, when you were thinking, I can't go on, I'm tired. What caused that? And then what are the other things that you go to that might help others that are listening out there? Because I know you really care about sharing the experience and helping others through your music.
Sure. I mean, there were many times
Shut the door.
Hold on one second. Hey, hold on one second. I'm sorry, Cam. Lou, can you mute yourself if you need to talk in the background so it doesn't mess up the interview? We could hear you. Okay, let's start over with the answer. I'm sorry, Cam. Yeah, we could hear you weren't muted. So,
I'm sorry, guys.
Cam, go ahead.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
I don't. Okay, I'll ask it again.
Sorry, it was really good.
Yeah,
can you replicate it? Come on.
No, I don't know if I can. I think just that you have this joy and you found music. You were tired. You were almost about to give up and quit. You thought, and what caused that? And then what are some other things that you go to find that inner peace and to keep that joy alive and to find that music to help others out there who are listening, your fans that admire you? I know it's very important to you.
Oh, yeah. I would say that it was a culmination of things. Like I say that finding a joy in the little things is important because that's what's going to really get you through a lot of these strenuous times. I remember there were moments where at The Voice, we were just working day in and day out. And there was this one morning where I looked out the window and I could see the birds just like playing around, doing some pretty interesting things, I thought, as birds. Just swooping down into the pool that is right in front. And kind of just like from these crazy angles. And I was like, this is like a fascinating thing to see amidst everything that I have in my life. Things seem like moving so much. And to be able to take a moment to see an anomaly like this, it's breathtaking. And it just brings me some type of joy because, it tells you sometimes you got to just sit still and enjoy the little things. So that's where I keep my battery. That's how I do it.
Makes me think of I'm sorry, but the scene in one of the Simpsons where Homer, he's having a serious conversation and a butterfly floats by and he goes, "Ooh, butterfly!" And
Does everybody stop?
yeah, and I think that's great. I really do, because we get so serious and so focused sometimes.
Oh,
We
yeah.
forget what's really important. And for you, obviously, it's family as well as taking that time to pause.
Well,
For sure.
I mean, if that story doesn't tell you how cool Cam is, and I really mean that, Cam. I mean, you're a cool guy. You feel a lot of pressure, though, I think, about your position, about your music and your responsibility. After all, you were crowned the voice. And do you feel like with this voice, with this new, the platform that you have, what do you want people to know when you look around at the world today, aside from that, just that great story about stop a minute and look at the birds? I mean, it's as simple as that sometimes.
I mean, I think it's just the possibilities. There are so many possibilities to hold. And so if we just take a second, may not have to stop, but just to see the many different paths that you can take for your life, for any circumstance that you're in, if you're in a hard time, if you're dealing with a new change in your life, if you want to move, think about it. Just take a second and envision how you would see it in your heart of hearts, so that you can just honor who you truly are in your heart. Keep it pushing. I think that's where we fall and fail ourselves a lot as humans, because we tend to just go after things and not necessarily think about how we could actually make it work for ourselves and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Love it.
So who you dating? Who you dating? No, Big Lou, take it away. Go back to Big Lou.
No. I mean, okay. You know what? I'm gonna ask a fun question.
Please.
You have a choice. You have to pick a team of 3. There's 4 people total on the team.
Okay.
It's a singing battle, like the old school rap battles and dance battles. Who do you put on your team?
For dancing or singing?
Singing.
And is this anyone? Is this season 20 of The Voice cast? Is this?
You have full range to choose from any era, just to make it a little more difficult.
Who would that be? I can't wait to hear.
This is a hard question, because we said 4.
Yeah, and I want to say, while you're thinking about your answer, to those of you who are listening and watching, don't take it as a slight, because there's a lot of great choices, and he only has 3 picks. So I'm going to say it for you. Doesn't mean that you weren't good enough to be on Cam Anthony's team. Just means he just too many choices.
Listen, it's hard out here. Slim pickings. It's a lot, but I got a little bit of slots to fill. So I would say
John Legend might get blocked twice. I'm just saying.
I would say definitely Whitney Houston. I gotta have Whitney in there, because she's a phenomenal vocalist. Yeah. She understands the instrument to a T, and I think that's very important. Michael.
Oh,
that's okay.
There we go.
He's left.
That's how hard this question is.
Like, I'm out of here. I've answered enough questions. Cam Anthony walks off the Jeremiah show.
I'm done.
I quit.
Who's number 2? Who's number 2, Cam?
I would say I'm gonna have to give it to Michael. Michael is just like a legend in himself. Dancing, he'll have the performance factor above the roof and higher. So
and
that's
number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
It's a hard one. Oof. I'm gonna throw it to Bruno.
Whoa!
Wow!
Nice.
I did not see that coming. That's big.
Nice. That's one heck of a dream team.
Hey, it's the best one well, not the best. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Maybe next time, Dr. D. Maybe next time.
Hey,
Big Lou, I like that question.
That was great. Great question. Great answer too.
The Cam Squad.
That's it.
All right, guys, we have a few more minutes left here with Cam. Who's got the next question? We got Joseph. You got another one? Biggest fan.
So Cam, you I know you won The Voice for your voice, but you have a pretty impressive background in the world of dance too. So how does dance play and the rhythm that you use in dance play into how you feel a song and how you perform on stage?
You know, that's actually the first time I've ever been asked that question. But I think it actually has a very, very big impact, because as a dancer, you have to listen to a lot of different things in a song to find, you know, interesting ways to kind of articulate that. So it has definitely made me key into a lot of different parts that I normally wouldn't, as just a singer that doesn't know how to dance, you know. So I think that has definitely changed a lot for my artistry. And I appreciate that too, because it gives you a different vibe and charisma that you can bring with your performances. So.
And then give us a sneak peek into what you're writing. What kind of song are you writing? What can we expect?
So we've done a few. I have one that is I don't want to give away too much, because we haven't figured out which one will be the first one that you get to hear. But I will say that you have some inspirational music. You have just some good vibe, and sort of like Bruno, he has these great vibes where you can party and dance a little bit. So I want to just bring a twist of things. So I got y'all very soon.
I think Jeremiah will probably he'll come back, right?
Who will come back? I'll come back for the mic.
No, Cam will come back.
Oh yeah, Cam is, guys. I really do want us all to sit here for a minute, and think about how special it is to have Cam on, because Cam is going to be one of those guys that's top of the charts for a long time. I see you like just one of those top 5 artists that over the next 20, 30 years. I honestly mean that. I think you're going to be there. And we had this privilege to sit here with you for an hour. And so I want to thank you for that and for your time. I do have one question. I've never asked this question, but you probably get it a lot, but why did you pick Blake?
I just understood this. There was this unspoken thing, number one, I would say, that Blake had this vibe that was, I would say, almost resembling home. Like he just was so down to earth. He was able to just neutralize again and made me feel comfortable with just exploring. I think that was going to be important with my journey on the show. And so that I had that in mind going into the competition. Like I needed to be able to really stretch out my arms and explore, have as much fun as possible. So it just made more sense to go with Blake, and then following my heart was important.
And look where it led you and what happened. We're going backwards a little bit here, but I know that, you know, you've said that you escaped, you got out of Philadelphia, and music was your escape from the violence on the streets and the crime. For kids out there that are still in that and look up to you, you know, where would you send them? What would you recommend to them to do something better and to follow that like you did? That dream?
I would say, you know, although Philly has its, you know, crime and its, you know, poverty and things like that, like a lot of places, there are also a lot of resources that you can find in Philadelphia as a young person. So reach out to people at your school. You can reach out to a lot of community members that are able to help you. And even myself, honestly, because I do respond as much possible on my DM. So I can help connect you with a lot of people that are in the community in Philadelphia that are working to better our situation. So just reach out and look for your resources, because they're there, I promise.
You're a good man. And we can't wait to play your stuff as it comes out. You definitely come back and send it to us and we'll play it here. Lou, do you want to take us out? You want to finish the show up with Cam here? Do the honor.
Like, do I got to just finish, or can I ask a finishing question?
You got a finishing question.
I just want to say, I want to say thank you for, you know, I know the show is an hour. I probably got about 48.5 minutes.
Cam had 3 minutes.
Right. And, you know, I'm looking forward to everything that you have to put out and what's in the works. And, you know, sometimes we don't know how great something's going to be or how bad it's going to be. But in your case, we'll use the version of bad that's good, you know, taking a piece of Michael Jackson right there. Because I'm certain it's going to hit, and it's going to hit hard, and it's going to resonate with not just a group of people. It's going to resonate with everyone. It's funny. I was thinking, listening to the different genres and of music that you were singing on the level that you were singing, and my first thought was, this dude is a gumbo pot of vocals. Like, and it's effortless, and I'm definitely grateful to have this opportunity to sit with you and share this stage with you and just pick your brain a little bit. And I look forward to the things that are coming out. Congratulations again on your win on The Voice. I mean, it's well deserved, and you know, great fortune to you in your near future coming up. Cam Anthony, ladies and gentlemen, we have him here on the TJS show. Thank you, Cam, for your time.
Thanks,
I
Cam.
look forward.
Check out.
Again very soon. I am in LA. I am in the security business as well.
He just started that business just a minute ago.
I think Ray might have you all covered, but you know, just in case somebody gets sick or you know a little tired.
For sure.
Or if you need a posse or an entourage, I'm available.
There you go. There you go.
All right, Cam Anthony. Thank you, Cam. The winner, NBC's The Voice season 20. Get him at the real Cam Anthony. He does respond, as he said, as much as he can on Instagram. You can find him on Facebook at Mr. Cameron Sherman and Twitter, Cam Anthony. Go follow him on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, pick up his music where you can. And as it comes out, we're looking forward to his new single in the fall. It's going to drop a couple new songs, and long may you run, my friend, and we'll see you soon.
I appreciate it.
Cam Anthony, communicate, listen more, and evolve. Everybody have a great week.
And Cam, if we can get from you a little soundbite promoting you, your music, as well as the Jeremiah show.
Oh, you got it? You've done 50 of these. I forgot.
50 a day, you said.
50 a day.
I will give you a countdown. All right. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
It is Cam Anthony here. Make sure you find me on Spotify, where you can find all of my latest music. And make sure you tune in to The Jeremiah Show.
All right.
I love it. Do you want to drop the voice in there, winner, or no? Keep it just you. It was great the way you did it, but I don't know if.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
All right.
It was very nice. And thank you for the plug.
Absolutely. Very cool. Hey, I was going to mention just real quickly here, your music aside, not to take anything away from it, I got to tell you, your message, okay? I was going to say, preach it, brother, preach it, you know, because what you're talking about in terms of what is really important in life, just keep telling people that, just keep putting that out there, because people need to hear that right now. They really, really do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good message.
Yeah.
You're a good man.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So
Fuck that up. God
Big
damn
Lou.
it.
I think Cam was you scared him. He jumped
Yeah.
with you. With the we got that cut out though, right? Were you,
I
your
will.
Boy,
I'm
your
gonna
boy's
do-
not staying in the room.
Son
I'm
of a
gonna-
bitch, dude. Like I said, and then I got up.
Let's cut the recording. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.